There we go. All right. So there it is, everybody. That little star there is Topeka. Okay. So as you can see, to our east, we have Lawrence, Kansas University, and then Kansas City. And to our west, we have Kansas State and Emporia and then Fort Hays. So we're kind of in the middle of everything in terms of the university in Kansas. So we'll learn more about Topeka here in a second, but excuse me. All right, so this was our first group of Becal students. They were fantastic. So you can see that they, Natty, Jesse, and Val were pictured on the U.S. Embassy's Facebook page in Paraguay. So, you know, here Natty in the corner here is with our Nobel Prize winner, Washburn alumni, the Nobel Prize for Medicine, Dr. Sunderland. So that's cool. And these Becal students, our first cohort, still are in touch with us. They write articles about their experiences in our International Accents magazine. So we have really great communication with the students, and they're still contributing. This is our second group of students, Ara and Andrea and Denise, and this is you know, the first time they saw snow. And Heidi took this photo when they first arrived. She was just mentioning how it was one of the coldest winters in Kansas history. And so, interestingly, I was attending a conference through the Partners of the Americas, and they sent me back an email, and our students were the photo for the email. So Becal students at Washburn. So that's pretty cool. So all of our Becal students have become pretty famous, not only in Topeka and Kansas at Washburn, but internationally, it would seem. And that's, here's Laura, Lucero, and Perla. This is, if you can spot them there, this is the first day of this semester, this spring semester, our new international students, after the new international student orientation. And so they were excited to get started and quickly, you know, got involved and made tons of friends and had a really wonderful time at Washburn. And they also shared their culture through the International Club, the Celebration of Cultures, and joined a lot of activities and had a really wonderful time. So a little bit about Washburn real quick. So Washburn, you know, part of that video that we watched is about heritage, and Washburn is quite an old university, 1865. And the nice thing about Washburn, when compared to the other Kansas schools, is that we're like medium size. Okay, so some of the schools are small, and some of them the large state universities are extremely large, right? So you would have class with 200 or 300 people. So it's very difficult to get that one-on-one attention. But at Washburn, our student to faculty ratio is 12:1. So that means most classes will be around 12 students. Some have a bit more. The first year classes, I don't think you'll have too many of those, but kind of the second and third year classes, and the fourth year especially, upper level courses will have very few students. So you really get to know the professor, and they'll know everything about you. So that's really great. And so Washburn has, we have a College of Arts and Sciences. So that's like, you know, art. Some of you are graphic designer or architecture, English, literature, and then the sciences. We have engineering, pre-engineering. So, excuse me. And then we have applied studies, and then our School of Business, which has like the, you know, 10 or 11 different concentrations like economics. And I think one of you might be studying hospitality management. And so you could take a bunch of classes focused on management. And then we have our prestigious and well-known School of Law, and then our School of Nursing. So we're starting to see a lot more students graduate from international students from the School of Nursing, which is great. Okay, so so these are the majors and concentrations at Washburn University. So you can see that we have a lot of different classes. to match these majors and be able to graduate. So, and this is, all of this information is in the chat, so you can download this PPT. There's also a resource page in the chat that gives a lot of information about Topeka and Kansas and Washburn University, and it's quite interesting. So this is who Natty was with earlier. This is our Nobel Prize winner in medicine. So I think we are the only Kansas university with a Nobel Prize winner. So, you know, we're a pretty prestigious university, and we're quite proud of our history. So it's my understanding that one of you is studying English. And so the English department at Washburn University is quite incredible. So they have concentrations in literature and film, or writing, and also English education. Okay, so in the presentation, you can look at some of the courses that you might take, but there are a lot of resources that I would encourage you to explore through the English department's website. All right, and you can look at these majors and what kind of different classes you would be interested in taking. So like this whole presentation is really just an introduction. Okay, really what we hope to do is be able to like Zoom with each one of you individually and discover what classes you could take and what's available in the fall, and yeah, you know, dive into internships or different kinds of clubs and stuff associated with that major. All right, so yeah, this is kind of some of the classes that you would take for English. Right. So, and then graphic design, I think one of you is industrial design. So we have a pretty robust offering of graphic design, especially in electronics. So we have like we have an incredible 3D art design room. So it's like all digital art, and a lot of it's like Adobe Creative Suite and different kinds of design and modeling. We have a course with virtual reality goggles and stuff. You can make these worlds. So there's a lot to do with graphic design, and also, well, I think one of you is studying architecture. So, you know, architecture in the United States is just a grad level course. I mean, just a grad level major, or excuse me, degree. So as an undergraduate, you could take classes in, you know, sculpture, digital media, these types of things. So I think that we also have a lot to offer, both graphic design and architecture. All right. Now, this is for the student who is studying the hospitality management. I emailed the business school to find out what courses are available, and they suggested that you have like a management emphasis. So here are there are a bunch of different management electives that you can take if you have the requisite prerequisites. So there are a whole bunch of different courses. Labor economics, organizational behavior, and human resource management are the other classes that they suggested. Right, and so before we get to engineering, I think one of you was interested in economics. And so again, all of, you know, for those of you studying art, check out the fine arts, the art studio information about the concentrations in our incredible art building that has all of these different labs, this design studio, especially digital and graphic art, computer lab, 25 Mac computers, all of these things are available to you to use anytime, day or night. You can come into the art building with your Washburn ID card and work on stuff all night long. So iMovie, iWeb, iPhoto, everything. It's really incredible, especially the virtual reality goggles and the work that they do there with the software. It's neat. So yeah, and so economics, of course, is in our reputed School of Business. And a concentration in economics, you'll be able to take a lot of different courses in economics. So if we were looking at the courses that would be available for economics in the fall, money and banking, managerial economics, labor economics, of course, macro and microeconomics. So yeah, we just really need to get connected with you after this presentation if you're interested in coming to Washburn, and then you could we can explore what classes you are interested in taking, what you're eligible to take. Okay. And then for engineering, so Washburn doesn't have really an engineering degree, but we have pre-engineering. So those first 2 years, that you're getting ready to, before you're taking like really intense engineering focused courses, we have kind of pre-engineering, and these are classes that anyone studying engineering would probably need to take before they could study engineering. All right, so these are some of the classes that are available. So if you're thinking, you know, I need to brush up on my general physics or, excuse me, like differential equations or linear algebra, then, you know, might not be a bad idea, especially if you're thinking about a job where you are using English in the future for engineering, to take some, maybe take a semester here to, there's so many vocabulary associated with any kind of science, right? So it would be a full-time job trying to memorize in another language of all the scientific terms associated. So maybe these classes would be interesting to you. Right, so student life at Washburn. So that kind of concludes the academic part. If you are more interested in more, we'd be happy to meet with you to discover what's available to you. So if you have any questions, just throw them into the chat. So at Washburn, we have a really amazing student life. So students, you know, always have something to do. They can go to the rec center, they can go watch athletic events, they can go watch a play, music, musicals, and all kinds of events in over 200 clubs and organizations. So you'd be able to get involved on campus. And then, you know, if there's something you're really interested in, but there's not a club or organization dedicated to that hobby or passion, then you can start your own, okay? And so Washburn will give you $3,000 a year to start your own club for activities or supplies or whatever you need to do to have the club. And so I wanted to show you quickly a little virtual tour of campus, okay? So you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. So here we are. This is beautiful Washburn University, settled in the middle of Topeka, right? So it's an urban campus. So it's not just white space all around us. There are shops and stores and restaurants and apartment buildings and all kinds of activity going on, okay? So here we are in front of Morgan Hall. Morgan Hall is kind of like the, well, that's very slow. Morgan Hall is like the front of campus, or kind of our gateway. So you can see it's quite, oh, this is new. So these houses a lot of classrooms, our Student Health Association. So it's quite nice. And then for those of you studying science, that's disturbingly slow. Science classes are in Stauffer Science Hall. Okay, so what I really like about the laboratories there are that they all have these beautiful bright light windows. So it lets all the light in. So if you're having kind of a sort of a, you know, maybe you're a little sleepy or the subject is maybe dragging on a bit or something, you know, the light can keep you awake and keep you happy and positive. So you see how clean it is, very few chairs because it's small class sizes. So it's really a great building to take science classes in. Of course, computer science is also housed here. I think some of our engineering classes are here in Morgan. So this is our basketball court. You know, we have basketball games, volleyball, baseball. So there's so many things to watch. In fact, you know, we can't really compete with KU at basketball, but I think our women's volleyball team, they won second in the nation this year. So they were absolutely phenomenal volleyball players. I went and watched 3 of their games and it was like, geez, they're crushing it. And it was amazing, incredible athletes. And you can see why, because they have really great training facilities. And so this is a little bit, if any of you are fond of swimming, we have an indoor swimming pool. You can swim during your lunch break or in the morning or evening. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so this is like one of the new dormitories on campus. This is Lincoln Hall. For this program, you'll be housed in something called the Village. All right, so the Village is like for upperclassmen. It's apartment style housing. So you will have your own bedroom, you'll have a living room, your own kitchen. And so you will also have a stipend to the dining hall. So you'll have some money for the dining hall, and you'll have some for that you'll cook on your own food, which is, I think, is really ideal. So this is one of the dining halls you could eat at. It's in Lincoln Hall. It's like all you can eat buffet style. So you pay one fee, and then you can all you can eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner. All right. This is a pretty cool place that you'll visit quite often. This is the Union, Memorial Union. So there's another cafeteria inside here, and there's a lot of different meeting places. There's a coffee shop, Starbucks, and like little market where you can buy stuff. So this is sort of the center of campus. So we're seeing here's the Union, over here's some dormitories. Here is the School of Business and some other arts and sciences, arts mostly. Here's our library. In the middle of campus, there's a large bell tower. Okay, so every 15 minutes, the bell will go off and tell you what time it is. So that it just gives you a really great feeling when you're like walking across campus with your textbooks, and it's like fall or spring, and the leaves are changing color, or the flowers are coming out, and you're walking to like the library, and the bell goes off, and you're just like, wow, this is like, I've got my whole life ahead of me. This is such a great, just gives you this amazing feeling in your life. So cherish it. It's a great time for you. Here's our football stadium. When you come in the fall, we'll have a bunch of football games here, and we have parties in the street here. It's the only time that our students are allowed to drink on campus before the football games, of course, in moderation. Back here is the art building. Over here is the Recreation and Wellness Center. Here's the KBI building, School of Nursing, Education is over here. So you can see it's a really beautiful campus. We really hope you come and enjoy it and use it to the best of its ability. So here's the other dining hall in the Union. This place you can stop by and grab like pizza or sandwiches, burgers, and stuff. So this is kind of what your room will sort of look like in the village, except it'll be a lot nicer. But this is your typical dorm room. This is one of our older dormitories. I think it's like 15 years old or something now, which is kind of old. For our buildings, we have a lot of new buildings on campus. So yeah, kind of a shared situation here. And then this is our School of Business. So if you're taking, why is it so slow and so bizarre? Hope you guys can hear me. This is a typical School of Business classroom. Okay, so economics or management, you'll be in here. Sometimes you'll be video conferencing with students in other countries. You'll be working on international projects together. It's really amazing. And this is one of my favorite places to go. It's the Student Recreation and Wellness Center. All right, this is where you can go and exercise to help reduce stress, or to stay fit, or to have fun. Okay, so you come in here, it's free. You just use your card. I think at KU and K-State, the gym is not free. You have to pay for it. But here it's free. You can check out a soccer ball, basketball, whatever, and then go inside, and we've got a bunch of basketball courts. Of course, there's a big climbing wall there. You can come here and play soccer or whatever you want to do, volleyball, badminton. And upstairs, there's like a lot of weights, all kinds of cool machines to walk on or run on or climb, all kinds of neat stuff. And there are classes in here every day of the week, different exercise classes that are all free to you, like yoga and Zumba and CrossFit and all kinds of stuff. There's an indoor track, so it's pretty cool. And then here's our library, the Maybe Library. It's called Maybe. Okay, maybe you'll go here. So it's really neat. It's all new inside and has a lot of different areas that you can study. This is the basement of the library, so it still has books in it. So you can come down here and do group projects. There's a bunch of group project areas where students meet. You could ride this bicycle and do your homework. Yeah. Okay, here's the village. Cool. So this is where you'll be housed. This is the village. Look how new it is. Wow. It's really, really nice. So it's very safe. You see it's all gated, and you use like a ID to get inside. There's like barbecues back here, laundry. There's like a living room in here with ping pong and pool tables, TVs, you can lounge around, and then all your different buildings, apartment style housing. It's super, super nice. So here's like, and of course the School of Law there, but this is like one of our football games in the fall. When you get here, you can come. And then of course we've got cheerleaders, and then everybody comes to the game and the guys are playing. It's really cool and really fun. I think you'd really like to come and see it. It's quite exciting and wonderful. Right. So if you're wondering really what we eat, I guess you probably already know, but it's a lot of beef, just like in Paraguay. Okay, but we put a lot of barbecue sauce on it. So come and have a try here. All right. And so these are some of the activities that we have. So we always get together. This is the International Club, one of the clubs that international programs sponsors. So we have get-togethers, barbecue parties, trips to different places. Here's one of the football games. Everybody's having fun. You'll make so many friends. Here's one of our celebration of cultures, where international students can perform or share their culture with people. It's really fun. And so I think maybe I'll finish with one little video, then we'll open it up. Maybe Andrea could share her experience. She was one of our Becal students. You could ask questions to Heidi and I. All right, but we'll finish it with one little video. All right. Okay, everybody. So what kind of questions do you have? Let's see, have we got anything in the chat? Okay, so please be aware that in the chat, I've put two resources. One has a lot of information about Washburn pertaining to your majors or life in Topeka, and different things going on. So check those out. I think a couple of them are in Spanish. So if you want to share them with like mom and dad, let them check things out. That would be cool too. So Andrea, do you want to share your experiences as an Ichabod with everybody?
Yes, I would love to. Okay, so I think everyone knows that I went to Washburn last year for the spring 2021 semester. Like Andy said, the thing that I liked the most of the university, I think, was the small size of classes, because I get the opportunity to know more about the professors, and they also took the time to know me. For example, I took this class, and on the first day that we had to say our names and where from, and he told me, "Oh, are you from Paraguay?" Yeah, I had a student from Paraguay. I like the asado and the beers and beyu and sopa. So he already knows about Paraguay, and that was super shocked me for me, like, because not a lot of people know about the country. So that was pretty cool. So yes, I think the connections that you can make is really amazing. And also, you guys are going to stay, if you choose Washburn, you're going to stay in apartments. So that's also pretty cool. So you can manage your time, your money with the food and stuff, and you can also access to the cafeteria. So you can do both things, and it's going to be really, really cool. You can invite friends there. So yeah, everything, it's cool. Also, I think what I like the most is the activities that you can find. You can always find something to do there. And you can also find always like giveaways, people who is giving things like t-shirts or gifts, everything. So it's pretty cool. And also food. Like they also like bring a lot of food for free. So that's also amazing. So yeah, I got the opportunity to do friends from everywhere, like Japan, Europe, South America, and that's also pretty cool because I'm still in touch with them. So it's amazing. We all have to go and visit each other to every country. So yeah, and also I have to say that the international office, like Haiti and Andy, they're always for you. They are always like in touch with you during the semester, and they're always like ask you how is everything going. They help you with your classes to find advisors. Like if you have some troubles with your course and you need some extra help, they can help you to find someone to help you, and not also in the academic part, but also in the personal part. So yeah, I can say that I had a really great experience there. And I hope you guys can give Washburn a chance to do also and to have that experience too. So yeah, that's pretty much all.
Gosh, thanks. That was very kind assessment of your time at Washburn University. Okay, Becal students. So the Becal students, the reason we want you on campus is because you're brilliant. Okay, we are so fortunate to have gotten so many brilliant students from Becal. Okay, so we want you more than the other universities want you. We want you here badly so that you can add a different perspective in the classroom, show it, teach everybody. Well, first off, you're all like really good in your subject, so you'll add like a sophistication to the class that will become really beneficial to everybody. Okay, so sharing those cross-cultural communication, it's really important, and so we really want you to come here, and we promise that you'll have an amazing opportunity, amazing experience here. And so I don't know if the other universities, I know for sure the other universities don't want you as bad as we do. Okay. And we're truly extremely dedicated professionals, and we want to help you in any way that we can. Okay. So I guess I know you guys have tons of questions to ask. Friday evening, right after a long week.
So I can have a question.
Okay,
I have a question that I think a lot of them like are also like they also want to know. It's about the courses that you can change the courses while you are there or not. If something, for example, you go and you see that it's not what you want, and you can change it or not.
Yeah, I can address that, Andy.
Great.
Yeah, so that's a great question, because obviously sometimes just reading a description of a course, you can't exactly tell what's going to be covered. And even though it may sound interesting or may it sound appropriate, when you get in the classroom, sometimes it may turn out to be something very different, either not the level that you need or a level above where you're at. And so, yes, that's a great question. And I would say, especially within the first week, it is very common for students to move their schedule around and to be able to withdraw from one class and enroll in another class. And technically that can be done within the first 2 weeks of the semester, although sometimes towards the end of the second week, it can be difficult to get into another class because you haven't been attending that class yet. But I would say definitely within that first week, there isn't an issue. And in fact, we want to know if there's that kind of situation so we can help you to determine if you do need to withdraw from this course and add a different course, we can help you with that process. And I did also want to mention, if any of you want to ask Andrea something in Spanish, or you want to put something in the chat in Spanish, that's absolutely okay too, as long as you're not going to require me or Andy to respond in Spanish, then we'll be good.
Oh no, we can hear you, Andy. We can't. I don't know if is a word that.
And Andy's muted.
Yeah.
I was muted that whole time. Oh man.
Oh no, just I think after I was speaking.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, so if you guys have some great questions, just let us know. Let's see, what about yeah.
I'm sorry, Andy, I have another thing to say. They're also going to have the language and culture course if they go.
Yes, that's right. So that is a course, our language and culture in context course, which I team teach with another colleague of ours. And so that course is an 8-week experiential course. And I know, unfortunately, when Andrea was here and it was still very much kind of the COVID times, that we couldn't take the field trips and go off campus and visit a lot of things. But thankfully, we have been able to do that this year. So that course is more experiential in nature, where we teach about culture, we teach about history, we go and visit some different places. For example, this past spring, we went to the Capitol, we went to the John Ritchie House. We have more of an educational focus in the spring, and then in the fall, we will probably take a visit to a local elementary school. And so we like to get out into the community and give all of you a chance to see more of Topeka than just the campus. So hopefully, Andrea, it was even interesting when we had it back last spring and we couldn't go anywhere, but we still tried to teach a lot about culture. And yes, that will be something that the students will take in the fall.
Great. So yeah, it's going to be an extra course, like a part of your courses that you will take. And it's a great opportunity to also know other international students and the city, and also learn English, because you practice your English a lot. If you go with another Paraguayans, of course, it's 100% English, and also with international students. So it's a great opportunity to know the city and the university as well.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So let's see. So the fall is actually the greatest time to come to Washburn. Springtime, it's like everybody's already kind of here. And unfortunately, I mean, our Becal students have always come in spring. So it's a little interesting, but if you come in the fall, it's going to be absolutely incredible, because so many new people will be coming and everybody's like, I've got to find some new friends. So nobody has like their old friends from home. So they're trying to meet new people, and you can squat up really easy with a bunch of different friends. And then, everything is new to everybody, and they have a lot of parties and orientations. So you can learn about all the resources on campus, and all the clubs are starting, and they want you to join their clubs, and they're trying to get you. And then, football games are pretty big culturally in the United States. So you get to see all that madness. And
not to mention, you're not going from summer in Paraguay to deep winter in Kansas in January.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I mean,
Wow.
I think that's probably the biggest shock. I don't know, Andrea, what do you think, going from like hot summer to cold, like serious winter in January? You won't have that big of a contrast coming in August.
No, it was really interesting to feel, but I loved it. Yeah, but I think they will experience all the summer, and also a little bit of cold.
Oh yeah, yeah, it'll be beautiful
snow.
fall.
They can maybe be able to see the snow.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you'll definitely see the snow before you leave. And so, yeah, you'll get to see summer. And I think my favorite time in the United States and Kansas is the autumn or fall, when it starts to get cooler and the leaves change and all. And then, yeah, it's going to get cold after Thanksgiving. Then you have a lot of cool holidays in fall semester as well. I mean, spring is really cool too, as you know, but yeah, fall. So there's Thanksgiving, and then, yeah, by December, there'll probably be snow. You'll have seen snow before finals. Hopefully not too much.
Ok, si alguien tiene alguna pregunta y quiere escribir en español, también lo puede hacer en el chat, o si quieren levantar sus manos, o sea, si quieren habilitar el micrófono, lo pueden hacer. Así que este es el momento. I also have a Google link with some photos if you want to see.
Oh yeah.
I can share it in the chat. So
Cool.
That's some photos that I took off campus, the buildings, I mean, with the flag, everything. And I also have some winter photos and spring photos. So they are really different, because in winter it's all white and in spring it's all green. So there, it's pretty nice. So if you want to see, I'm going to share it here at the chat.
Yeah. Yeah, there's, you know, I mean, every Kansas university has something a little different about it. And, you know, each one has its own unique culture. But I think in Topeka, being the capital city, we have a lot of resources that aren't available in smaller cities. And then, you know, for one, I went to KU for one semester, and it was like, it was, you know, I mean, we can still watch KU basketball at Washburn. And our students were also in Lawrence partying when KU won the national championship in basketball. You know, Topeka, where we can easily get to Kansas City. We'll take a tour of Kansas City with you when you come in fall. And it's really close to the airport. If you want to travel to different parts of the United States, if you want to get to Chicago or New York. And so I think Washburn is a really good choice for all of you. And I think what we should do is, if you would like to get connected, we would be happy to, you know, schedule a Zoom with you in the next week or two, whenever you're available. And we could go over exactly what classes are available, what you could take in the fall, and I can get you connected with your department. So I think that would be a really good way to, you know, I can find out what clubs you're interested in, what hobbies you're interested in, you know, what kind of research specifically you like. We can match you with a professor and you can ask them the questions, you know, what kind of job opportunities are there if I study this major? I mean, we can really take a deep dive down into what's available for you here in terms of resources, connections, alumni. So we have a lot of resources here to help you. You know, when you get here, we have international ambassadors who are going to help you to transition into higher education environment in the United States. And then, you know, the classes are going to be quite small, so you can easily ask questions to your professors and get answers to any kind of deep questions you have about your major or the classes. So, oh, we've got a question. Yeah, so if you want, let's see, oh, sorry. If you would like to, is it going to be possible to take some classes in English major, even if we are studying in another field? Yes, Heidi has mentioned that. So I've put my email into the chat for everyone. And so if you would like to get connected, please just email me and say, hey, you know, I'm a Becal student and like to get connected to find out more. And then we can figure out a great time next week or two and there's Heidi's, and to go over all of the specifics about your major and about why Washburn's the right university for you. Okay. Yeah, we have some amazing English courses. The English department at Washburn is one of the best in Kansas. We have the Kansas Studies. We have the film and literature concentration or major is really interesting. You'll be watching films, critiquing them, writing all about them. There's the writing emphasis if you want to write like poems or you want to become like a novelist, the next great Paraguayan novelist, South American novelist. That would be really cool. We would be proud of you. So,
and
yeah.
I think that that's something that a lot of the other Becal students have mentioned. One of the things they love about studying in Kansas, you know, at Washburn, is the opportunity to take courses that they couldn't normally take in Paraguay, either because they're just not even offered or because they wanted. For example, this past spring, one of our students is a psychology major, but she also has a really great love of music. And so she was able to take a course here that was the psychology of kind of art therapy. So even though it wasn't music, it was related. And so it was really cool because it really combines two of her passions. And so I think that's something that the Becal students, a lot of them have mentioned, is that opportunity to take courses that they would not be able to find in Paraguay, or even take courses in other majors, just because we have a liberal arts educational system, which means that in addition to your major courses, you have what we call general education, which are courses in natural sciences, social sciences, humanities, etc. And so on the Washburn side, there's a lot of flexibility And so really, I think it has more to do with maybe what your home university would accept as far as that credit. But on this side, generally speaking, you have a lot of courses. It may be too many. I think if anything, students kind of feel like, wait, usually I'm told what I need to take. I haven't had to choose my own courses before. So I think sometimes it can be a little overwhelming when you're looking at all of these options and just thinking, I don't know what to do. But actually, it's really pretty cool to see when students get here and they get in their courses and they're really excited because, as Andy mentioned in his presentation and Andrea mentioned too, because the classes are smaller, you have that really close connection with your professors and your classmates. You get to know your professors well, they know you. You're not sitting in a hall with, I don't know, 900 students. You're maybe in a classroom with 20, 30, 40 at the most. But it really gives you an opportunity. In fact, I know another one of our spring students worked directly with two of our biology professors to and was able to present some of the work research she had done in Paraguay, but also was able to work with them on projects. And she was able to present at our Apeiron, which is where our student research is presented, students. And so that was really exciting to see that she had that opportunity. So yeah, it may seem a little overwhelming, but I think in the end, it's really exciting for you to have a lot of different courses to choose from, and maybe something that you wouldn't be able to take back home.
Yeah. All right, everybody. So in the chat there's a resource sheet there that I've put, if you wouldn't mind downloading it. It has a lot of different links in there that you can discover about different majors or what Topeka's like, the virtual tour. You can access all of that. And so I think if any of you would like to get connected, just send Heidi or I an email, and then we will send some Zoom information and then get together and explore. Okay, and we're happy to meet with you anytime. 3, 4, 5 times before you come here is no problem for me. So just, find out what's available here for you. And, I think explore all the universities in Kansas. Kansas people are all quite good. Now that's a generalized kind of overarching statement. So Kansans are, they're like Paraguayans. That's why we have the partnership. So we're both pretty cool. So anywhere you go is good in Kansas, but really do your research. Look at every university, compare them. And I think if you explore Washburn properly, then there'll be no doubt which university you'll choose, which will be Washburn, of course. Okay, so get connected with us. And are there any other questions? You can unmute, or you could throw it into the chat, or well,
yes, I think if they don't have any more questions, or maybe they will, like, after this meeting, and they will you guys.
That always
and
happens.
like they say, they're open to do any Zoom meeting with you, like privately, or if you have any questions, they're always open to the idea.
For sure.
So
yeah. Sometimes you don't know which questions you have until you can look back at the information, or something comes to you later, or we're happy to answer those questions. So
I think we really need to give special thanks to former Becal and Washburn alum Andrea for her connection, getting us connected with all of you. Even though she's feeling a little ill, she's still stuck to it. And so we're really thankful to her. Thank you so much. And I hope all of you have, Heidi and I wish that all of you have a really great weekend. And thanks for taking the time to learn a little bit about Washburn, and we hope to get connected with you. Let's go, Bods. Okay.
Have a great weekend,
thanks,
everyone.
Everybody. Thanks
for joining us.
See you. Bye, everybody.
thanks to you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Feel better soon, Andrea.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Aw, thanks, Janice. All right, Alejandro's out.